Do you feel tired of those grand dreams that remain trapped within your mind, and aspirations that glimmer on the horizon without your hand reaching out to touch them? Do you find yourself oscillating between the desire for achievement and a hidden force pulling you towards procrastination, leaving "I'll start tomorrow" as the master of the moment, with your tomorrow never arriving? If your answer is yes, then you are not alone. Many live caught in the trap of waiting for motivation, believing the spark will ignite on its own. But the harsh truth is, great achievers don't wait for enthusiasm, they create it themselves. They show up, they strive, and they continue working even when the flame of desire flickers within them. So, how do you transform yourself into that unstoppable person who gets things done no matter the challenges? The warrior mindset. Summon your inner power. Imagine there are two versions of you. One who craves comfort and ease, always seeking the shortest and easiest paths, and another who thrives on discipline and challenge, finding joy in overcoming difficulties. Unfortunately, most of us let the weaker version take the reins. It's that fragile self that hits the snooze button instead of rising early, chooses the couch over the gym, and wastes precious hours scrolling through social media instead of pursuing meaningful goals. This version prioritizes instant gratification, but in return, it keeps you imprisoned in a cycle of stagnation, with no notable achievements and no progress in sight. But what if I told you that the key to changing this reality lies in activating the dark mode mindset? It's the warrior within you, that powerful version that knows no hesitation, negotiates no excuses, and tolerates no weakness. It doesn't rely on fleeting motivation. Instead, it operates automatically, entering a unique mental state where execution becomes the only option and hesitation completely vanishes from its lexicon. How do you do this? It starts with a decisive choice. Shut down emotions and switch on the execution engine. Remember that your mind will always try to keep you in your comfort zone. It will tempt you with distractions, and it will whisper promises of "I'll start later." But realizing that these thoughts are just lies designed to keep you weak is your first step towards liberation. Train yourself to overcome these mental tricks. Stop thinking, stop hesitating, act immediately. The moment the thought of postponement creeps in, take a concrete step before allowing your mind a chance to object. Do you have work to do? Start writing instantly. Is it time to exercise? Stand up and move without thinking. Do you want to wake up early? Get up the moment your alarm rings. No negotiation, no discussion. These actions create an alternative version of you, the powerful warrior self. Building a new identity for yourself as a disciplined person is one of the strongest ways to reinforce this mindset, just as successful athletes, artists, and entrepreneurs do. Stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline, willpower, and the ability to execute without excuses. The dark mode mindset means training yourself to love the process of progress even when it's tough. Are you ready to become unstoppable? Time is running out. Feel the urgency of the moment. How many times have you found yourself wasting precious time, believing you had plenty of it? How many goals have been postponed, waiting for that perfect moment that never comes? The harsh truth is, time is the only resource you can never get back. Every passing second is erased forever, and if you don't learn to move quickly, you'll find yourself running out of time before you even begin. Imagine a countdown timer above your head, its hours relentlessly ticking away. Every moment of procrastination is a step towards failure, and every hesitation is a breach through which your future is stolen. Successful people understand the value of time and refuse to squander it. The key is to eliminate the illusion of later. You don't have later. You don't have someday. You have now, and that's all you possess. Stop treating time as an unlimited resource. If you believe you have all the time in the world, you'll always find a reason to postpone.
But if you start seeing time for what it truly is, something that diminishes with every second, you'll stop wasting it. What if you only had 24 hours to achieve your dream? Would you waste them scrolling through your phone? Would you allow distractions to steal your focus? Would you sit waiting for the perfect moment? Of course not. You would work with all your might. You would move quickly. You would take immediate action. And this is precisely the level of urgency you need daily. How do you adopt this mindset? Set strict deadlines for yourself and force yourself to move quickly. Don't give yourself time for overthinking. The most productive people don't wait for inspiration, they create it through action. They work quickly, they work intensely, and they don't waste their time wondering, should I do this now? Imagine your future self 5 years from now. Will you be proud of what you did today, or will you feel regret? Remember the old saying, you can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Time is the only resource you can't replace, and every second you waste is a second stolen from your dreams. So, will you keep waiting, or will you start now? Burn the ships. No turning back. Have you ever wondered why so many people fail to achieve their goals despite possessing intelligence and skill? The answer is simple and painful. They give themselves an escape route. They set ambitious goals, but deep down in their minds, they always keep a backup plan, a comfortable safety net that allows them to withdraw when things get tough. They say they want success, but in reality, they give themselves the option to surrender. And that's why they don't push themselves to their absolute limits. If you want to force yourself to work hard with an intensity that knows no retreat, you must burn the bridges behind you. No excuses, no easy exits, no possibility of returning to old ways. When you make retreat impossible, progress becomes the only option. History is filled with stories that prove the power of this strategy. Remember the great commander Hernan Cortez when he arrived in the New World with his army? He burned his ships. His men had only two choices, fight or die. So they fought with all they had and achieved victory. This is the level of commitment you need to achieve your goals. How do you apply this mindset in your daily life? Cut off all easy exits. If you're building a business, stop telling yourself that you can always go back to your old job. If you're striving for a fit physique, don't keep unhealthy foods in your home for emergencies. If you want to achieve a big goal, eliminate all temptations that might lead you to give up. Destroy your comfort zone. Progress does not come from comfort. If you always give yourself the option to retreat or relax, you will never reach your true potential. Make your commitment non-negotiable. Make it public and force yourself to follow through. When you tell others what you will do, you increase the pressure on yourself to commit, as your reputation is now on the line. Successful people always use this strategy. They make withdrawal discouraging, costly, or even impossible. Invest something valuable in your goal. Put money, time, and energy into your project. If you pay for a gym membership, you'll feel guilty if you don't go. If you invest your savings in starting a business, you'll work twice as hard to make it succeed. The more you invest, the harder it is to back down. When you have something to lose, you'll take things seriously. Are you ready to burn the bridges of retreat and advance towards your destiny?
The no matter what principle. Detach emotions from execution. How often have you let your emotions control your actions? Do you only work when you feel motivated and only show up when it's convenient? Here's the harsh truth. If you only act when you feel like it, you'll never achieve anything great. Top-level achievers don't rely on fleeting emotions. They follow a simple yet powerful principle. No matter what, I'm going to do it anyway. It doesn't matter if you're tired. It doesn't matter if you're unenthusiastic. It doesn't matter if you're not in the mood. You do it regardless of anything. Champions don't wait for motivation. Imagine an athlete training for the Olympics. Do you think they only train on days they feel energetic? Of course not. They train every day, whether they feel enthusiastic or not. A soldier on the battlefield doesn't decide to fight based on their mood. They commit to their mission regardless of the circumstances.
How do you apply this mindset in your daily life? Separate emotions from execution. Stop waiting for motivation or the perfect moment. Take action automatically. If you commit to something, do it regardless of how you feel. Make your actions non-negotiable. A disciplined person doesn't wake up wondering, should I work today? Do I feel like going to the gym? They just do it because it's part of who they are. Set rules instead of goals. Don't say, I want to exercise 3 times a week. Instead say, I exercise every day at 6 a.m. Don't say, I want to work on my project. Instead say, I will work on it for 3 hours every night. Once you make your decisions non-negotiable, your actions become automatic, and you transform into an unstoppable force. Are you ready to move beyond your feelings and turn your goals into inevitable actions? The Discipline Bank. Invest in your future success. Imagine your life as your own discipline bank. Every action you take is either a deposit that adds to your balance or a withdrawal that reduces it. Just like a bank account, the more you deposit, the greater your wealth. But the currency here isn't money. It's your habits, your discipline, and your future success. Most people operate with a spend now, pay later mentality. They choose comfort today, then expect success tomorrow. They skip workouts, procrastinate on work, and waste time on distractions, believing they'll make up for it later. But life doesn't work that way. Every time you take the easy way out, you make a withdrawal from your discipline bank balance. And if you keep withdrawing without depositing, you'll end up bankrupt, surrounded only with regret. How do you build a strong balance in your discipline bank? Every time you overcome laziness, that's a deposit. Every time you stick to your habit despite being tired, that's a deposit. Every time you accomplish something despite a lack of motivation, that's a deposit. When you invest in discipline, you build a wealth of mental toughness. But beware, just as you can build wealth, you can also fall into discipline debt. Every time you skip your commitments, that's a debt. Every time you allow excuses to win, that's a debt. Every time you prioritize comfort over work, that's a debt. And the problem? Debts come with interest. Postponing today's work makes tomorrow harder. Procrastination makes you wake up one day realizing you've wasted years. Start investing in your discipline bank today, because success is built by daily deposits. So, what will your deposit be today? Love the pain. Make hard work addictive. Why do many people run from success as soon things get tough? Because they haven't yet learned that success isn't about avoiding pain, but about learning to love it. The greatest achievers are not just those who work hard, but those who become addicted to the process itself, to the challenge, to growing through adversity. An athlete doesn't get stronger by lifting light weights, but by embracing the pain of resistance. A successful entrepreneur doesn't build their business only when it's fun. They endure stress, failure, and obstacles with the spirit of a warrior. If you want true success, you must make pain your friend, your ally on the journey of development.
How do you train yourself to love the pain? Change your mindset. Don't view hard work as suffering, but as proof that you are progressing, that you are pushing your limits. Every difficult moment is a step towards the success that others shy away from. Create a connection between pain and satisfaction. Every time you overcome an obstacle, acknowledge it and celebrate it. When a tough workout ends or a deep work session concludes, tell yourself that you triumphed. The more you feel victorious, the more your mind will begin to crave challenge instead of avoiding it. Always push past the point of resistance. Your mind is programmed to keep you comfortable, but it's deceiving you. When you feel tired, don't stop immediately. Push a little further. Every time you go just a little past that point, you unlock a new level of strength you didn't think possible. When you train yourself to love the pain, success becomes inevitable. Are you ready to embrace pain as your companion on the path to success? The unbreakable rule: raise your standards. Why do most people fail to reach their full potential?
not because they lack talent, but because they accept mediocre standards for themselves. They show up inconsistently, do just enough to get by, and allow themselves to give up when things become uncomfortable. But individuals who achieve extraordinary results hold themselves to a different level. They don't just work hard enough, they live by the standards of the unbreakable rule. If you want to force yourself to work hard, not just once, but every single day, you need to establish a personal standard so high that anything less is unacceptable. You need to make discipline the default, not an option, and you need to eliminate the idea that good enough is ever truly enough. Think of the world's top performers, athletes, business leaders, artists, scientists. What distinguishes them from the rest is not just skill, but the way they demand excellence from themselves. They hold themselves to an internal law of discipline that is so strong they don't need external motivation. They operate at a high level because they refuse to operate any other way. How do you build an unbreakable standard for yourself? Define the kind of person you want to be. Do you want to be someone who only works when they feel like it, or do you want to be the person who shows up no matter what? Decide now. Once you choose that identity, you stop negotiating with yourself. You don't ask if you're going to work today, you just do it, because that's who you are. Set non-negotiable rules for yourself. Successful people don't leave their success to chance. They establish strict personal rules that force them to work. They operate at a high level, perhaps waking up at 5 a.m. every day, no matter what, or doing 100 push-ups before bed. Are you ready to raise your standards and make discipline an integral part of your identity? The no-choice mindset. Destroy the alternatives to failure. Why do most people struggle with discipline? Because they view hard work as a choice. They treat success as something they will pursue if they feel motivated, if the timing is right, if life isn't too stressful. But here's the truth. As long as success is an option, failure will always be an easier alternative. The way to force yourself to work hard is to completely eliminate the option of failure. Think about it. The moments when you are most productive, most focused, and most determined are usually when you have no way out. When your back is against the wall, when there's no second chance, when failure is not just a setback, but an unacceptable outcome. That's when you find energy and motivation you didn't know you possessed. This is the no-choice mindset. It's the mindset of people who achieve greatness not because they are more talented, but because they never allow surrender to be an option. They don't sit around waiting for inspiration. They decide what needs to be done, and then they do it, no matter what happens. How can you develop this mindset? Get rid of backup plans that make giving up easier. Commit to something bigger than yourself. Stop waiting for motivation and act solely based on discipline. Put yourself in situations where success is the only possible outcome. Treat your goals as a matter of survival. Are you ready to destroy the alternatives to failure and make success your only destiny? Take full control of your results. You are the driving force. The moment you blame anything outside yourself for your shortcomings, the moment you dwell on your failures, you surrender your power. The fundamental difference between the successful and the struggling is simple. Successful individuals take full responsibility for everything in their lives. They refuse to make excuses, refuse to wait for help, and refuse to allow anything beyond their control to dictate their future. Taking responsibility means that no matter what happens, you bear full responsibility for it, whether good or bad. If you fail, it's on you. If you don't get the results you want, it's on you. If life isn't going the way you planned, it's on you. Not because everything is your fault, but because taking responsibility is the only way to change anything. You are the driving force. You are the creator of your future. Are you ready to take full ownership of your destiny? The unstoppable work formula. Never lose your momentum once you start. Starting is always the hardest part, but maintaining consistency is even harder. Most people begin with overflowing enthusiasm, but quickly lose motivation. They make progress for a few days or weeks, then hit a wall, lose energy, and stop. The key to long-term hard work is learning how to build unstoppable work so that once you start, you never stop. Work itself is the force that keeps you going, even when you don't feel like it. This is what separates people who work in fits and starts from those who continue to work hard day after day, no matter what happens. The stronger your work ethic becomes, the easier it is to stay disciplined. And instead of forcing yourself to work every time, hard work becomes automatic, like an unstoppable pulse. Are you ready to become an unceasing production machine? Create an indestructible routine. Success becomes inevitable. True success isn't about having a few productive days or pushing yourself hard for a short period. It's about building a system that makes progress automatic. A daily structure so strong that you can move forward even on your worst days. This is the indestructible routine. It doesn't rely on willpower or motivation. Instead, it depends on deeply ingrained habits to the point where success becomes an absolute certainty. Most people fail because they rely on how they feel to make their decisions. I don't feel like exercising today, so I'll skip it. I don't feel motivated to work on my goals, so I'll procrastinate. But high achievers don't think that way. They don't wait for motivation, they follow their routine no matter what. How do you build an indestructible routine? Establish a non-negotiable morning routine. Your morning is your foundation. If you start strong, you'll stay strong. Your first actions set the tone for the entire day. Wake up at the same time every day. No excuses, no snooze. Start working before your mind has time to offer excuses. The more you hesitate, the weaker your discipline becomes. Make the routine your identity. The true key to an indestructible routine isn't just following a system, but becoming the person who never breaks their system. Instead of saying, "I try to exercise regularly," become the person who never misses a workout. Instead of saying, "I'm working on being productive," say, "I am a high performer who executes every day." Instead of saying, "I'm trying to be more disciplined," say, "I am someone who gets things done no matter what happens." In this way, discipline becomes a part of you, not just something you try to do. And now, with your vision illuminated by the paths of discipline and productivity, and having realized that the key to success lies within you, not in waiting for external motivation, which of these strategies resonated with your soul and felt like the starting point for your new journey? Share with us in the comments how you plan to burn your bridges or invest in your discipline bank. And because knowledge is worthless unless shared, let these words be a bridge to benefit all who aspire to be better. Let's share this positive energy and inspire each other to become stronger, more disciplined versions of ourselves.